I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. All right. It is Tuesday evening, December 17th. We're in the Municipal Center. Can I have a roll call, please?
Scott Murphy.
Here.
Susan Webster is here, kind of. Elizabeth Skinner. Here. Mary Lynn Hickey. Here. Rebecca McLeod. Here. Greg Shane.
Here.
And David O'Connor.
Here.
Here.
Can we have the review of the minutes from our December 3rd meeting, and I'll take any additions, corrections, and common consent. It will good to me, but our proofreaders that are here will make sure everything's good with them. Everything good? Common consent? All right. All right, we don't have any persons from council, so let's go into it. I have a few announcements and communications from the mayor. First one's a big one, very big one. The annual Christmas market. We had the first annual, and let me tell you, there was a lot of people down there on Friday using our ice skating facilities. Milling around, talking to people. Everybody that I have talked to, it was very glad that we had done something like that. They said they hope we kept it up and got bigger. So anyway, so that was the first annual. And Claire, do you want to talk about it? If you don't want to talk about it, I'll ask Craig to talk about it. So if you guys got any.
Well, we're yin yang a moment. So I will say the biggest pleasure I think we got was seeing the community come into the space and the children's smiles coming off that ice rink. And that brought me the most joy. That was only on top of hearing my vendors being so pleased, and one in particular who said her husband had been out of work. He was trying in this job. They didn't know how they were going to make the bills. And because of this event, they were able now to have enough money to make them for the next 3 to 4 months to make their payments and live through by selling her jewelry. So thank you all who were able to help them. You don't understand how hard it is for some of these artists and these families. So you were able to support them by doing, we were able to do that for them. And then just having everyone come out the way they did and our amazing friends and, support. It's just, that's the most gratifying part. And to me, that's a Merry Christmas.
Using the rink, we had somewhere between 400 and 500 kids skate over the weekend.
Only 2 days.
I didn't even know
Which is
it went
amazing.
on.
We have signs all over. It was all over social media, but it was just, it's so much that, and I had it in the newspaper. I paid money to put it in the paper, put in the bill for a lot
Like
of
anything, once people know it's going to be there,
Right.
at the same time period, they'll be out there. But the rink is certainly well used. The amount of folks that even here on council gave their time or their talent. Dave was helping build with our build. The mayor was in and off the site the whole weekend. Susan had done lending us the bucket truck for the lighting, and Joey Everett, one of her employees, who had spent 12 or 16 hours working, putting the market together. Mary handling a lot of the financial ends to keep us compliant, to make sure we're doing the right thing there. It was great. We had 10 or 12 builders for the takedown in snow, and storage of the huts, as well as the ice skating rink. And then special thanks to those businesses. Valley Health was great to us. CMB Bank, GAT Creative, among others, as well as several
commissioners.
The commissioners, without the commissioners' help, it doesn't even get off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just it was a great event. We look forward to next year.
Can I just say one thing too? I just want to talk about the economic benefit to the town, because I had friends in town who came for the market, and we went not just to the market, but we went to all the shops, and they were packed. There were people in all the shops. And I think that that's the beautiful synergy of a special event in town, combined with businesses that, I mean, as business owners, these weeks in December are really not high margin weekends. They haven't been. And to have this new opportunity, new economic engine to bring in additional activity and sales tax and all the things we
I
love.
mean,
Oh, that's
lodging,
great.
right, lodging was full.
Country
Lodging
Inn was full,
and
and they're not
lodging-
usually at this
I
time of
mean,
year.
lodging drives, everything.
Because they stay here a couple of
You're
days.
saying Friday, Saturday, you got 3 days in town, and a lot of these folks are spending $1,200 on the weekend to come to the
Right.
town.
And to
Going to eat.
piggyback on all of that, Susan and Gav have a couple guests staying with us, so they came by the other day. And they said they stopped in and spoke to Sam at Provisions and Supplies. Apparently they saw a lot of faces they've never seen before.
Oh, yeah.
And I spoke to a lot of people and they said they got word of this all the way down to Virginia areas, all the way out to Pennsylvania areas that they didn't even really realize about the town.
Right.
And so the reach that I had done all over the boosts and Facebook, because I'm out on Instagram for whatever reason, so I couldn't even get that out there, and I couldn't do it on my other pages because somehow I got blacklisted.
Right.
But I can do those about Christmas.
But your
So-
marketers did well, but not
Yeah.
only did they do well,
Mhm.
because all those folks were in
Yep,
town,
they
they came to our local shops
That's
as
right.
well.
Well, that's the whole
And that
point,
rising
yeah.
tide lifted all the boats, and I think that
That's
that's
right.
really important to point out.
Absolutely. So it reached further than I thought it would.
If I could pile on Mary's comment too, so from the church had a Christmas market going on as well. We had prime geography for it. It turned out being one of our best fundraising efforts for the year as well for the Knights of Columbus and the church. And just a reminder, everybody, every penny of that goes back into groups in the local community, from the Boys Club to whatever. So that helped another civic organization fund, Coats for Kids, you name it, and it all stays here. So
And that's a development areas as well. All the new space that was free to the 4-H, free to the Girl Scouts,
Boys and Girls Club.
free to
And
the
the
Boys and Girls
intermediate
Club to do
school.
their own fundraisers to keep 100% of the proceeds that were
Mhm.
generated by their booths.
Mhm.
So it was well thought out of, and I think it was a win for everyone in the community.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
if I could, amongst the clapping, one of the sidebar discussions as part of the put up and take down committee, it's an all day event, okay, putting up and taking together. If we can get that to be longer, I do think the town should consider, instead of being one weekend, how do we turn it into 2 weekends potentially, cover the time from the parade, whatever. We don't have to, prove anything today, but I do want to kind of plant that seed that there's a lot of return on that. And we put a lot of investment in the, besides what they did to wrangle all the cats together, right? But just the physical putting it together. And,
10 hours.
and
So
yeah.
you want it to be more worth your while with more days to
Yeah,
sell.
give
and-
those vendors more opportunities, spread that Christmas, time where folks can come in. I just want to kind of put that mark on the calendar for next year that we should look seriously about doing that.
'Cause
as
I've
a
had
town.
people even ask on Facebook, is it gonna be next weekend? Because I couldn't make it out this weekend. And that's why I'd love to work with you on the train depot and getting that remediated, because if we can leave it set up in a spot that doesn't affect all
For
the,
several weeks.
the local
Yeah.
businesses up here, then we can draw all that interest all the way up to town, but we can leave it set big. So
Absolutely.
it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
500
think-
kids in a weekend is nothing to sneeze at.
We could sit here and talk all night about the event. I think it was awesome
Thank
for the town, the community, the people that have shops in town. It's a lot of work. Thanks everybody. Thanks everybody from the people that moved the stuff, set it up. I watched them as they started setting it up, and the thing's awesome how it pins together. And I'm like, wow, I'd have never thought about it, but it was good. So anyway, yep. Thank you all very much.
You're welcome.
Um,
Thank you.
Okay, another announcement, the 23rd of this month, which is next Monday, the office is going to be closed 2 hours early or actually 2 hours for an employee holiday lunch here at the town of Bath.
My favorite day of town
So,
hall.
yep, so anyway, we'll be closed for 2 hours, so still be able to drop stuff in the door, but we're going to be closing the door for the employee holiday luncheon. Also, we're closed at noon on Christmas Eve, the 24th. Of course, closed on the 25th for Christmas and Christmas Day. And then, so Wednesday's trash will be collected on Thursday. And then the same thing for the following week, basically. The 31st is New Year's Eve. We're closing at noon. We're gonna be closed on New Year's Day. Trash that's picked up on Wednesday will be collected on Thursday, same schedule. And then the following week, we'll go back to our normal schedule. So, make a note of that. We're trying to get it out to let everybody know what our closings, how we're gonna be open. I put a note on the door so that people know too when they come in. So anyway, I'm tickled with everything that's going on in town. We're having all this for the employees and everything being closed. So just work with us on our days off, because this time of year stuff kind of gets cut up. So, all right, enough of me blabbing long here. Let's work our way down to the Bath development. Let's see anybody here. You ready?
Rand is going to talk about the on-track
Okay.
down further routes.
All right, well, let's go to Parks and Rec. Nobody from Parks and Rec. Planning Commission.
Thank you. We continue on with our weekly working groups. We'll have one next week, on the Christmas week, and then we're going to take a little bit of hiatus through New Year's, and then we'll reconvene after New Year's. We had our monthly meeting last week, as advertised, where we were talking the unfit buildings. A lot of the discussion was really digging down into the existing ordinances. We still have some work to do. Been working with Sharon since then, so we still need to clarify what exactly is active within the town of Bath code. So we're going back through and digging into that so that we have a good foundation to start for the next period of that for any future changes, et cetera. Several members of the Planning Commission attended the West Virginia University Economic Outlook meeting last week in Coolfont. For the comprehensive plan, that was valuable. It gives an economic forecast out for the county, et cetera. So that's worthwhile as we scope that one. And then lastly, I attended, and I will continue to attend, the Morgan County monthly planning meeting now. So that was the first time I've done it, and I've got their schedule stepping off in there. Invited in, they're happy to have us. One of the biggest areas that I see jointly is development within the county and its impact on our water system. That's one of the things I want to make sure we're tuned on. And of course, I can reach out to Dave and see if there's any concerns one way or the other. So, but again, I'll be there on the larger scope for generic planning, but for any of those topics that pop up, I'll be able to represent as much as I'm authorized.
What's your next working meeting?
Next Monday.
But are you focusing on?
Oh, excuse me. And then for next month, on January 8th, we will be working with the Emergency Medical Services, the contract company, and the fire marshal from Orange County. The new fire chief from Orange County. Any questions?
Any questions for Larry?
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Larry. All right, rails and trails.
All right. I think I noted the report today. We need to try and trace down everybody for 22 January. It's the one before is. I would, at some point, try to start this work with a separation of the issue that comes up. We already know how to do it. It would be just to pull it out, but you have to get money back from the funding, because that's what the money is.
Money that we've already given the DOH.
Yeah, it's already there. So we subtract. I think we recognize subtract the remediation costs on the E20 basis. See it over to the town to do it.
Give ourselves for 20%.
Mhm.
We'll give ourselves for 20%.
Probably we don't need to. But basically, the town will do the contract, pretty much like Fluxus 3. So that is a political move. But I'm thinking, try to get everybody ready for this, and make a move on the 22nd, the task force. And I'll actually put that on the agenda. So the DOH, everyone's gonna know, I'll talk to them shortly. Bill, about doing this, how we can come back and ensure there's enough embarrassment there that we should be able to do.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
we'll have new administration, maybe new people who will see things differently and will be, strung out on so many,
Yeah.
maybe, you can only hope that
I've noticed, I've been with this task force since close to 8 years. I will tell you, the Navy can build an actual aircraft. Through many appropriations, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
So it just tells how the wheels of our
I
government
know,
turn.
or somebody get married, have a kid, to the fourth grade.
Yeah.
Think about, you gotta put this on a realistic time.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that, if you're ready to try to get the
Let's roll.
money, but we need to make,
Yeah.
It's been dormant way too long.
From the leadership, that can tee it up,
Pete, you're talking about the remediation of parcel 1A?
right around,
Is that?
We want to do everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's,
Yep.
it holds up everything, if anybody thinks
Understood.
a little bit about it, because it should be doing things.
Right.
And, we could wait for whatever the deal is gonna be with the 700,000 people. But I wouldn't wait for that either.
That's another,
Maybe that's what
And we-
we should come.
and that's where the money should
It
come
could.
from for remediation.
It could.
We need to get together with Bill Clark and.
Well, when we signed the VRP, when we signed the voluntary remediation plan with DEP, and we originally said, what's our time frame for this? That's why we broke it into 3 different pieces, because we were ready to move on part of it. And I said, 10 years, and they're like, no, it's gotta be done faster than that. Well, it hasn't been 10 years yet.
In all honesty,
Not for the VRP.
I would go to get real trail money back, because it's real money sits in this bunch.
Yeah.
The other money is going into a
Still
grant
floating
that
around.
has not been matched, so a funding agreement. That's like a fallback money for the first people who work.
Yeah.
That's two by something. All right, I'm gonna proceed with that, somewhat stealthy before it shows up.
You're on camera and all that, right?
What are they gonna do? Fire me?
You're just giving away all your secrets.
No, it's, you gotta think about what's it deal.
Yeah.
We haven't heard.
They should know, they should know we're.
I'm all-
I was gonna say they should know.
They should
It's
know
their
we're.
money that they're sitting on in Charleston,
So
so.
there's 120 grand from the county sitting there,
Right.
plus
For
another
years.
million something.
Is that enough? 120
That's what
Well, but
was-
that's the county, that's the county maps. The town has no skin. in the game.
Yeah,
the county.
just
the
remediation.
This is
Oh,
remediation.
Yeah.
What is the last bit?
About 50. We had a grant for 100,000 from EPA. The town put in 20, but we still have a little bit of that left for the final, for 1A. Some of the others the town put in to get match.
This paperwork,
Yeah, and that was
we
that
have
whole
a
grant.
license remediation specialist in the retainer
Jeez.
for too many years. The contract's to open.
I did an estimate a few years ago. And that was without a brick seating now. I don't cost them.
County funded paperwork to get it through the certifications.
Yeah,
That's probably so simple.
that would bring that whole campus to life if we could get that
Yeah.
That
I mean, we
parcel
kind of blinking
remediated.
at it.
and start using it for cool
I
things.
mean, just don't eat the dirt.
And it wouldn't hurt you anyway.
Don't eat the dirt. All right, moving right over. The, Phase 5, I brought something. The modified drawings.
Right.
That's as fast as I can do it. It's fine. You see what it says here, and I'm gonna talk with Josh, like, the guy who's managing the DOH, make sure that comes up the way he, Jeff, the contractor, will talk to you about how to do that. The parking spot, the access to the
Right.
and dealing with the stuff that's right. It's gonna look different. When we legitimate parking space that you didn't have. We have a streetscape meeting on Thursday. We're talking about how we want to figure out the lighting. And I'm gonna throw out for just for the heck of it, something that we started in the spring, see what we can do to get the 2 lights down. The other package with estimate. And I think Sharon had trouble getting, apply to it, that was the.
Who would be the funder?
I don't know, TBS is, suggested.
Oh.
There may be some town money in there. TBS has
We need
offered,
a process.
yeah, we have
Which
process.
isn't hard.
Well, we got,
Yeah.
DOH.
We have a peak.
11,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I used for the AERP grant we didn't get. I used your cost
Right. Oh, is that for the lighting?
Yeah,
Well, that's it. We'd like resurrect that. Figure out if there's enough money around.
Yeah.
To do it, somebody can place. something.
exactly,
Or
right.
we get something that looks like.
Gotcha.
This is a chance to try very quickly. What can we do? It's 10. If I want money or keep this money, what can we do with the equipment? They come up with something that works, it's good, but maybe it doesn't cost.
Make a big difference in the whole visual.
Yeah, yeah.
If they have
When
those
you talk about it last time, so wait a minute, we tried this,
Yeah,
yeah, it didn't make it fun, let's
Yeah.
try it.
right.
Yeah.
And I'm back, by the way, I'm going back to bat on that one next year. I'll
Sure.
be conferring with you guys to make sure we're not doubling our efforts, but Yeah.
You can always stop.
And-
It's going with this.
Yeah.
All right, and I guess we got our consent for the corrective action plan finally. All right, so what's that? Yes.
Well, we just have to follow it.
Yeah. Any questions for Pete? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on. Train depot.
I don't have anything new. Our workers' prices is doing well down there. They, they've settled in pretty nicely and like that. And I do think that they would be very interested in anything that goes on in and around that building and the lot. And could be very instrumental, not just interested, but instrumental in making improvements happen. And, that lot is just perfect for so many things. Christmas markets and all kinds of things, and ice rinks and everything. So, anyway, I can see what we do for the next year.
Good deal. I see that we're gonna move along finally.
Yes.
All right. Landmarks.
I will say that Zach Solomon was part of the On Track group that got together, and he, did participate in that. And he spoke with the On Track people, about the buildings. I mean, he knows every building in town, and so they did participate in that classroom.
Nice. We'll have to browse them first here. Okay, we're down to clerk and reporter's report. Madam Clerk, do you have any?
I do. So before I talk about the little on track update, I do want to mention deck meters for a minute. So I had, out of the 80 meters that I was hoping to get decorated, I had 76 people sign up to decorate. A couple people, unfortunately, business-wise, were not able to decorate due to, like an illness or because of the weather, things like that. So there's still, a couple blank meters out there, but for the most part, most of them did get decorated. So that is good. And then I will be going around, probably this week and taking pictures of all the meters and post them on the Deck the Meters Facebook page. And I also plan on going live and doing a little walk through town to really, show the whole meter itself, not just a picture. Especially since I plan on having a little contest. So I just wanted to mention that little update. And then as for On Track, so On Track had its first official meeting, December 5th. So we just kind of, reviewed different things in regards to On Track and Main Street, like the 4 points of Main Street. We had multiple, discussions on how we need volunteers, projects that we're interested in doing, things like that. And then on the 12th, I actually had Jennifer Brennan, who is the On Track Main Street coordinator, out of Charleston, come up with her design team. And they met with us all day from 9 a.m. to 3. It was myself, Susan, Lisa Stein, Zachary Salmon, first thing in the morning. So we had a little discussion, and then we had a little walk. So we started at the train depot to show them, what is currently down there. Talk a little bit about, plans of what we'd like to see down there, how we can kind of beautify it a little bit. So that went pretty well. We walked through town. Zachary Salmon was kind enough to show us pictures of some of the historic buildings in town, what they looked like back in the day versus how they look now. So that was pretty neat. And then, we talked about different things throughout town of what we think, different projects we think to help, again, beautify the town, things like that. Of course, we stopped at the Bath Christmas Market, which they were just getting set up. So they were able to see that as well. So that was pretty cool. We met at Ravenswood for lunch. So we were able to talk with Regina to get, a business point of view of how On Track can help the businesses in town. So that went pretty well in regards to how we can help, promote our businesses more, how we can bring new businesses into town. Had a little discussion about, what type of businesses do we need? If we have 3 or 4 ice cream shops, just, example, do we really need another ice cream shop? Not that we have, just using that as an example, but just things like that, we don't want too much of the same thing. We need to have, some variety. So that was a little discussion. And then after lunch, we met with Happy Roan, who is the executive director for the Chamber, Stephanie Revant, Laura Smith, who is the executive director for Travel Berkeley Springs, and Jordan Warren. So we had a little discussion about working together with them, how we can, help each other out with different projects and things like that. We'd love, of course, to have at least one of them help participate in On Track as well, and whatnot. So that was a pretty good discussion. I did invite them to our next On Track meeting, which they seemed pretty enticed to come. So I do plan on getting in contact with them again here soon. We met with Pete and Rebecca to help discuss streetscapes and how On Track could possibly help, in the future with benches, streetlights, things like that, other things that maybe Streetscape didn't have the funding at the time to do, but maybe On Track can help get funding or anything. And then we met with Ryan Revant to help talk about historic preservation and how the HLC can get involved in On Track. What I'm waiting on now is to hear back from Jennifer Brennan for the assessment that they are working on. I still need to take some pictures of town to send to them to help put in their assessment that they're working on. Because whenever they came, it was a little difficult to get some pictures because of it being windy and the weather and everything. So just a few areas in town they have pictures of still. So we'll get those to them and then find out how long it takes to get the assessment back that they're working on. For On Track, our next meeting is January 9th at 4:30. It's going to be held here at Town Hall. I'll also have Zoom available, so if you want to attend, but you can't attend in person, I will have it available via Zoom, which I can always email that link out to anyone who's interested.
Would you guys put the market, get some pictures too? I think it would be really nice to see more pictures of the market. I'm sure you got.
That would be great.
I hope you do.
Yeah, from a lot of people.
Yeah, okay. That would be nice for you to send, for them to see, they saw all the work setting up, not what came of it. Yeah.
I want to give a shout out for the town of Bath's meter decoration. Your mug with all the marshmallow. What did you use to make those?
It's just basically like noodle.
Oh, well, it's adorable, and it's over near Naked Olive, I think it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, very well done, and I know you did that with,
Was Debbie and with Amanda. The two artists.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was a group.
Yeah,
Good deal.
and it was up to Cocoa. for
It
all.
was. We made sure we had it
Yes.
specifically for the cocoa frosting, just a cup of hot chocolate. So, yeah. Thank you.
That's what we like. All right, thank you. All right, got that done.
We didn't have any, building permits.
Property use
Yeah, we
request,
did.
okay. All right, let's move to finance and let's pay some bills.
Okay, this wonderful committee has looked over all the bills, so I feel confident in making a motion that we pay the town of Bath bills in the amount of $19,941.17.
second,
For a second, a motion a second on the floor to pay the town of Bath bills in the amount of $19,941.17. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
I make a motion that we pay the Berkeley Springs Waterworks bills in the amount of $75,044.70. Second.
Have a motion a second on the floor to pay the Berkeley Springs water bills in the amount of $75,044.70. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries.
Make a motion that we pay the hotel motel distribution in the amount of $729.14.
second,
I have a motion a second on the floor to pay the hotel motel distribution in the amount of $729.14. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Make a motion that we pay the North Berkeley Rail Trail bills in the amount of $626.88.
I have a motion and a second to pay the North Berkeley Rail Trail bills in the amount of $626.88. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries.
I make a motion that we pay the depot bills, this is the final electric bill. So tenant is now taking this bill. Yes, in the amount of $107.71.
I have a motion, a second on the floor to pay the train depot bills in the amount of $107.71. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. All right, good? Good deal. All right, let's move on down to the tree board.
Two of the trees that we purchased in, I don't know, September, October were planted on Independence Street. We dug the holes by hand. The town crew brought the trees from the depot lot where the trees have been healed into compost, so they could stay there over the winter. But we got those two trees planted. We were going to plant the remaining 4 today, but the soil was too wet to do any digging. And for the 4 on Fairfax Street, we would like to work with the town crew to have the holes dug. But the trees could remain in the depot where they're healed in until spring, but we can plant trees until there's a really hard freeze. So we hope to get it done soon. I finished the work on the Tree City USA. Scott, have you signed the document that needs to be signed?
No, I don't think I did.
Okay,
So,
it's been in the office for about a week.
I might have. She had people stuff to sign the other day,
Okay.
so I might
I know
have.
it says it's still in process rather than it's been received. And once it has been received, I can at least look at the growth award to see if we qualify. I think we should this year, but I can't even start the growth award until the regular Tree City application has been received.
Can you ask Sharon in the morning if I need to come in and sign it? I will.
And the tree board meets, tomorrow, 5 o'clock here.
Thank you, Kate. All right, Grant.
Thank you, Scott. So, I have been, busy with, reviewing all of the website development applications that we received. And, we'll be meeting with my colleague Greg, at some point between now and early next week to review the proposals that we've received. And there's quite a range. There's folks who came in above our budget. In one case, they amended it and came at our budget. And then a lot that were lower, but may not really cover the scope of work that we're visioning to really improve this website, including having like a business directory and including just having more content and availability for the folks who live here, functionality like we currently have to pay utility bills. So yeah, I am really looking forward to making that selection. We need to have that done in late January and get that contract awarded. In fact, we've already been paid by the Appalachian Forest Program for their share of the grant, so we have that in hand. And for matching funds, we may look at making an application for hotel motel money, if not directly. Perhaps the Bat Civic Trust will make that application and just give money to it, so that the net cost to the town will be zero. But very excited about that process. There's a lot of moving parts with the main priority that I've discussed at previous meetings of getting grant money for our water utility. Rebecca and Dave have been doing really great work in terms of lining up that process in a very thoughtful and strategic way. I won't get into all those details. Dave can talk about some of it, but as it affects grants, it does push back our timeline for me to be able to start. I need that professional engineering report to start chopping for money, but there is a lot of strategic value in taking the time that they are and to create an engineering report that does really encompass the entire universe of need for our water utilities. So appreciate that as well. And in the meantime, there's just a couple of other things. This month, we will drop an application for police department computers on a reissued grant, and street cameras, if you can find something. I haven't had too much luck with that. But those are, that is the main focus of the grant release activity at the moment. Our next meeting is on January 13th at 4:30. Rebecca, anything to?
All right, thank you. Public safety, we didn't have a meeting this month. It was a conflict. We didn't have a whole lot to really discuss it. I'm thinking we had a conflict with another meeting that had to take place. So we will resume next month on the 9th at 3 p.m. Here at the town hall. Chief, do you have anything? Okay. All right. All right, let's move on down to cemetery.
The cemetery committee met last Tuesday, and we had a very productive meeting about setting our priorities for next year. We're going to be looking at a lot of organizational issues, a relationship with the Town of Bath Cemetery Corporation, the trust fund, a perpetual care trust fund, and so I think we're actually moving in a very good direction to define our responsibilities and what is realistic for us to do, and we need to seek funding to accomplish that we can't do anymore. You can add to
Okay. Thank you all. All right, Public Works.
It snowed.
That's a big word.
Yeah, the crew was out within about an hour of accumulation and starting on the streets. They did a great job.
Yeah.
Kept it as clean as they could with as much slush and ice.
They did a good job.
Our next meeting is the second Tuesday of January at 8:30.
All right. Ordinance.
Ordinance, Next meeting will be the 16th at 4 p.m. But the final draft of the reserved permit parking in non-metered spaces is complete. So we'll be finalizing that the first reading at the meeting on the 16th. Also, all reminder letters of 1% municipal sales tax have been mailed. We mailed about 10 days ago, so they were all out. So we're all set for the imposition of the 1% municipal sales tax on January 1st. Those are the only two items that I have.
Alright, then we'll work our way down to waterworks.
Waterworks, always something to talk about. So on the professional engineering report, because the council wanted to be a contributor, we attempted to adjust and try to make that happen, which led to its own scheduling problems, right? We could not get it in by the date in which they wanted for 12/31. And unfortunately, because we attempted to do that, we ended up canceling the current process. And now we found out we couldn't do that for legal reasons because it was too large of a project and we couldn't simply do it in the quick. So we have to go back with the competitive bidding process. And so that means we have to restart, and they'll start in the beginning of January. So the process of the pros basically got punted for about 2 months worth of delay because of that. Along that line, when I spoke to the county commissioners last meeting, they were receptive to alternative uses of that money. So I'm going to be putting on the table, and I've been notifying them other options. And two of those options should be desirable to them because they're both items that they're concerned with. One of them is the plant upgrade, so it's another way for them to do the part of the plant upgrade. What we're doing is extending the life of critical component. So if we're going to get funding, that could take a year, 2 years by the time we end up getting the funding and get the plan in place. So extending that that component is what we're making an investment on, as well as the silica plant, so that we could get a subsurface leak detector, which should really help us out, not just on the silica line assessment, but one of our ongoing problems is basically managing leaks and discovering leaks. Anytime a leak happens and it ends up going into the sewer line, nobody sees it, nobody's complaining about it. The only time anybody really acknowledges the leak is the customer brings it up. So this tool will really help us out to become a bit more sophisticated and hopefully lower some of our own leakage problems. And it's already proven very helpful on the silica project on being able to identify this specifically. And while I'm talking about the silica line, tomorrow we are planning to do the pressure test. The pressure test, in all likelihood, will cause that existing leak to get worse, which quite frankly Silica understands and is prepared to do a repair tomorrow on that. So all of that should hopefully be good news. Next time around, I'll be saying good things about what happened there. That's my report.
All right, Dave, thank you. I come to the point in the meeting where I ask council members, is there anything else that needs to be brought up through the council members? If not, I'll open it up to the floor. Anybody wants to speak in 3 minutes? Does anybody want to speak? All right, I would ask council for a common consent to adjourn.
Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Just a reminder to my fellow town council members, luncheon Monday, staff luncheon.